wrestling has more than one royal family.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to Wrestling Crossroads. As always, I am one half your dynamic duo, Twisted, alongside Hex.
I'm mortally wounded.
You are mortally wounded? Are you?
A little bit.
Because you kind of made it more into the intro now instead of, we're here with Hex today, or, you know, stepping in is Hex. And now you're mortally wounded? Wow, so rude.
I'm excited.
I am too. We are talking Clash at the Castle in Glasgow, Scotland. I am excited to see how loud this crowd is going to be today.
They were a nice crowd for SmackDown last night too. Mm-hmm. They definitely had their fan crazy on for Cody Rhodes.
I still haven't seen a crowd outside of the States when they go and they do their like European tour that has topped Lyon, France.
No, France was, oh my gosh, let's go back next year.
I would love anything in France, especially a big pay-per-view, one of our big four. Oh my goodness, can you imagine how loud that would be?
Oh my lord.
And it was so funny, I don't know if you noticed this on SmackDown, but they had like a loudness meter.
Yeah, I was laughing so hard when that showed up. I was and like, okay, now get Dom out there with a microphone.
Dude, I don't know. AJ Styles was catching some Dom heat yesterday. You could barely hear him on the microphone.
Yeah.
mean, I'm kind of okay with it, totally. I did, however, love the shots and the references they were making. You know, obviously we can talk about TNA in WWE. We can talk about Ring of Honor in WWE. We can talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling in WWE. But then AJ mentioned a company that Cody Rhodes started
There's been subtle references more recently now that some of them, the stars from that platform, have traveled and made their way to WWE.
Mm-hmm. I know. I'm just like, I was watching it yesterday and I went, oh crap! Totally just like mind blown at the moment because, you know, you get the like really quiet subtle references that really skip over on camera that you don't pay attention to, but these ones it was like, bam, I'm really making this intentful.
I mean, I expected this type of thing sooner since this has been kind of reciprocated from the Crybaby Khan.
Yep.
Being who he is and... You know.
Another thing that I did like that they referenced was the kind of play on from last Friday when AJ Styles was giving his retirement speech, and we had kind of the whole Mark Henry angle. And he said, you know, you come out, you pull this whole Mark Henry crybaby boo-hoo. But the thing is you go back and you look at Mark Henry versus John Cena, because that's who it was. Cena went over. Cena won that match. And ultimately, you know, Mark Henry, not in WWE.
No.
Not in the other company, because his contract just expired there.
Mm-hmm. Funny they mentioned him.
Yeah. I don't know what AJ was thinking there, but, you know, obviously he got the match that he wanted.
That's what all he really wanted out of this anyway. He goes, yeah, I have to do something extreme if I really want this again. Mm-hmm. And the obvious choice was a direct shot at the champ. Right. He sure made his statement.
He definitely did. All right, well, enough talking about matches later on in the night. Why don't you actually start us off with our first match?
All right, our first match is for the WWE Women's Championship between Bayley and Piper Niven, who has the hometown advantage being here in Scotland. And I love that we have so many representatives from Scotland in this card.
I do too. I absolutely love it.
And what a way to really kick it off with someone like Piper Niven, who in all fairness is Chelsea Green's attack dog at this point. She's kissing butt as much as she can.
It reminds me of my favorite women's superstar who no longer is with the company, when AJ had her title, she had Tamina as her attack dog. That was her big enforcer. You kind of got the same thing going with Chelsea Green, but then again, you know, when you have those bigger set women and they're not really over with the crowd, and unfortunately it is for the bigger, heavier women, when they're not over with the crowd, they always pair them with a smaller, you know, I can be thrown around scrawny girls to get them over. You know, you had Nia and Alexa.
Which is sad because it's ignoring the strength that Piper Niven has, and where it's completely, like, kind of shoved to the side because she's stuck with a pampered chihuahua.
Yeah, pretty much.
In the form of Chelsea Green. But I look forward to seeing this one-on-one and really showcasing what Piper Niven can do. We are all unanimous in this vote, in voting Bayley, but I really hope that they really showcase what Piper Niven can do as a solo superstar hailing from Scotland.
Yes.
This is their opportunity to really get something going with Piper, and she needs it. She deserves it.
She definitely does. It has been kind of a long time coming for Piper to even be on the card for a title. I think they said a little over a couple years for it.
That's pretty sad.
For her to even challenge for a singles championship or aside from the tag title, a championship in general.
That's pretty sad.
I do want to go into Pyro's and kind of Desario's reasonings as to why they picked Bayley for this, because I think it's really good.
Yeah.
Desario did say, I want Piper, but going Bayley. Though they have tried, they haven't built up Piper enough in such a short time, plus the real money is being made for Bayley versus Nia at SummerSlam because of Nia winning the Queen of the Ring tournament. Pyro kind of goes off with the same thing, saying, you know, it's not time to take the belt off of Bayley. Again, Piper's not as credible, unfortunately.
Okay. That's fair enough points.
And I mean, they've been watching and doing this long enough to know that
and I will sit and listen to anything they tell me since they've been watching it for so long. It's like, they are our teachers, teach us.
Yes, essentially. All right, going into the next match, we have the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn defends against Chad Gable. Now, aside from only one of us, all of us have gone Sami Zayn. Desario being the odd one out, choosing Chad Gable, and I am going to read his reasoning for that. He does say, and this is a shocker for Desario, it's a really good story. It can go either way, but he feels it's time to put it on Gable. If he decides to renew his contract, that is. Because Gable's contract is set to be up in July.
I've heard a lot in regards to that they have something that they're talking about that's big in the works with Gable. But not necessarily saying whether or not that's with a championship around his waist coming up. But that is an interesting note by Desario. Definitely something to keep in mind, for sure.
It is. It kind of goes with Pyro's reasoning for picking Sami. He thinks Alpha Academy is turning on Gable tonight.
I hope so. Especially, I want Otis to be the one to take the first shot. Honestly.
I do too. I don't think he would.
Although I wish Maxine would be the one to take the first shot, since she's getting the most harsh treatment, in my opinion, from Chad Gable, who's not even giving her or Akira Tozawa the chance to be his ally ever since the first
kind of
mishap.
Shot. Yeah. I think the way it plays out best tonight is Otis is supposed to take that big shot on the outside of the ring while the ref is distracted with God knows what. Maybe he has Maxine, maybe he has Tozawa. He accidentally knocks into Gable. That takes out Gable. Sami gets him in the ring, hits the haluva kick 1, 2, 3. Then you have Chad in the ring doing his most disgusting crap that he's been doing, because
like taking off the belt to whip Otis.
I don't necessarily want to say it's cringy, but it is. It's creepy. It's disgusting. Plain and simple. Here's my issue with that. That borders along the line too closely with how we treated slaves in the past,
to where it's cringy, but cringy in the sense of it doesn't feel right.
No, it really doesn't.
I mean, hit him with a chair.
Yeah.
Get out, grab a kendo stick. Please don't do it. Whip him with Daddy's belt.
No.
It just rubs me the wrong way.
It's too cringy for me. But, we get him saying some things. Tozawa leaves. Walks away. That's his way of turning. I don't see him hitting Gable. I see Gable screaming at Otis and then screaming at Maxine because something's going to mess up with Maxine. Maxine hits him. Otis takes him out. End of it. But then, as Tozawa's halfway up, we stop. And the people that they're looking for Gable to align with are the Creed brothers. I think we see the Creed brothers come out and attack Otis and Tozawa.
Weird. That'd be interesting for the Creed brothers to then flip from what we know them as, which is a face team.
Mm-hmm.
So
that would
be
some heel credibility with somebody that's already stirring it up so big as a heel.
And he would be great to learn it from, too. Because he's doing phenomenal. He is one heck of a heel.
I think that's how you do it. Because not only does that solidify them as heels to side with Gable, but that keeps Otis and Tozawa along with Maxine, because if you keep them a stable, that keeps them baby faces.
Right, we did see Chad Gable talking with them recently, didn't we?
And the thing that they're talking about is they're trying to redo Team Angle.
Oh, interesting. I forgot all about that until you mentioned.
And, this may be far out of left field, and Brother Pyro will probably call me out on it, knowing him. But another way you could pull into this is somebody who we haven't seen in a ring, somebody who can't legally be in a ring, pulling the strings from way in back, and that is Jason Jordan, who years ago, you're not going to know this.
Of course not.
Years ago, they had a storyline that was Kurt Angle's son.
Oh, okay.
So, go with Team Angle. He's the one that pulls the strings because he's learned from Dad. Again, Brother Pyro can call me out on it because it seems far to left field, but I could also see that happening. WWE has done things like that in the past.
Okay. Wow.
So, all right. Into our next match, my spooky lover.
Our next match is the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Triple Threat match between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, and Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, the Unholy Union. Boy, was I happy to see them on SmackDown last night. Mm-hmm. Boy, was I happy.
Even with this just the small little promo that they cut, to see them actually out and about on the TV is amazing.
It's been a long time coming. They were drafted not this past year, but the year before that, and we've seen them 4 times.
Yeah.
Practically. So it's nice that they're finally getting a shot at something. Mm-hmm. Now, two of us, Pyro and Desario, have picked Bianca and Jade to retain, while Twisted, myself, and Cauldron all picked Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, hometown heroes. Mm-hmm. Woo woo! Oh, yeah. You know me. I love my Unholy Union there. Now, I would not be surprised if Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill did retain. However, my thoughts being is Alba Fire and Isla Dawn have been showing us, even with the little bits that they've been around, that they're outsmarting already. Mm-hmm. Like, how did they even get this shot?
Exactly.
They just joined in on a beatdown. Mm-hmm. They chose their opportunity. Now, what's to say that they don't go after Bianca and Jade right away just to get their butts handed to them?
Yeah.
So that they can pick their moment from the outside.
And me and you were talking about this before we went live, and I honestly think it's a great idea. Mm-hmm. Going off of what Desario and Pyro have said, I agree with you in the fact that I could see Bianca and Jade retaining. It is very probable, but, aside from Shayna and Zoe, who we have seen try their best, we want to see the Shayna Baszler of old. We didn't get that at Underground. But even if we were to see it here, it wouldn't give any credibility to the fact of Shayna and Zoe winning. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn shouldn't have had the titles taken off of them a year ago by Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. Mm-hmm. And the fact that since then we've only seen them the 4 times, it is really sad. You have 2 hometown, or technically 2 in a way, hometown heroes here. If you're not going to give the title to Piper Niven earlier on in the night, give it to them tonight. They don't have to hold it for long, but give them something. Mm-hmm. And, you know, one of the things that Pyro and Desario were saying was there's not enough credibility. Pyro had said, as much as he wants Alba and Isla, it's Bianca and Jade. It is too soon. Again, Jade doesn't lose on this small of a platform. And again, we were talking about this. I don't see Jade or Bianca being the ones to pick up the loss.
No.
It would be Shayna or Zoe. They're the more credible losers here in a way. And I hate to say that for these two because they're phenomenal workers, but they're the ones that pick up the loss if they decide to go Alba and Isla. Plain and simple.
I expected out of the tag team of Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark to see more ferocity than I've seen. Knowing who they were as individual competitors and how ferocious they are, they look like lapdogs now. And where's the bite? All I see is bark.
And that's what it was supposed to be when they paired Shayna with Ronda. Because what they were trying to do was they were trying to have Shayna kind of tap back into that NXT feel, really be that big, badass competitor that she used to be. But the match with Ronda Rousey fell flat, and then Ronda left. So it literally did nothing for Shayna.
Yep.
Although she picked up the win in it, it did nothing.
And then they did this match with Lola Vice, which should have been such a showcase.
It should have been.
And it was a huge fumble.
Yeah. It was a huge letdown.
For both competitors, honestly. For Lola Vice and for Shayna. Lola may have picked up the win in that one, but it was a weak match for her, too.
Mm-hmm. It definitely was. Going into our next match, we have the WWE Championship. It is an I Quit match. Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. Now, unanimously, we are all Cody Rhodes on this one.
Cody Rhodes!
I was laughing so hard because Flash's face when we were watching last night was like trying to understand what the hey they were saying, and I'm just like, I'm singing with it. He goes, is that what they're saying? I'm like, yep.
Every time you hear that, that's all they're saying is Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm. It is great because it's just like when we went to
came out of nowhere,
Lyon, France, and they were singing their song for Phenomenal when AJ had his match. Oh my god.
In Saudi when they sang for Randy.
Mm-hmm.
That one made me emotional a little bit because it's like such a polar opposite culture. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Indian language is so vastly different from us. And they sang it like they knew the language themselves. Yes. And it was just beautiful to see that we could all just unify under the love for wrestling. And the love for Randy Orton.
And that's what, you know, a lot of... When you listen to us from the beginning, if you listen to each and every pyro rant that we've had, which we haven't had one in a while, I'm a little bit missing our pyro rants here.
Creates an episode just for one long segment of pyro rants.
Oh my goodness, that would be like a 3-hour long episode. I'm not doing that to these viewers.
Well, I mean, he's been gone for a while. Might as well have a build-up rant episode.
But going back into it, when you listen to each of Brother Pyro's rants, it is all strictly on the fact of we need to come together as a community and just have a love for wrestling.
That's what Saudi showed for me.
And that's what they've been showing by bringing in other brands, by going places we've never gone, you know, Lyon, France. We've gone to Saudi a couple times, but now we're in Scotland. We have the Bash in Berlin. These are some big changes that they're bringing this year, and the fact that we even started off earlier this year in Australia.
Too. The new intro where it's like towards the end there, where it's just surrounded by figures of people. How we're all one community bonding over the love of this beautiful sport.
Yes. But getting back into a prediction video,
yes,
which is why we're here, I did want to read Desario's reasoning. He gave a really good one.
Never unimpressed with his reasonings behind things.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, Cody versus Styles. Any fan of wrestling can smell short-term wrestling stories for titles that are there to fill time. That's all Cody's reign has been. This match is no different. AJ is a credible opponent, but no chance Cody drops the belt. Again, SummerSlam coming up makes more sense for Cody versus Randy. More eyes to be had for that match, and people would be more inclined to believe Cody loses there. So, if you remember, Triple H, after the King of the Ring, came and said we're going to have a rematch for the King of the Ring tournament between Gunther and Randy.
Oh,
Because of the controversy for Randy's shoulders being up.
I didn't even know that was happening, actually.
If they actually...
Cauldron will be excited.
If they pull the trigger on that and Randy wins, he automatically gets a shot at SummerSlam.
Randy shouldn't have lost to begin with. Both of his shoulders weren't pinned since after the 1 count.
Exactly. And that's why Triple H came out and said, I'm going to fix this. However, WWE has been known to say these things and not pull a trigger.
Because he's counting on people forgetting about it. Mm-hmm. And to calm down so that people don't all over social media
uproar, more or less. But if they pull the trigger, which is something that we were actually, me, Desario, and Pyro were all talking about, if they pull this trigger, yes, Randy is the credible person to go in and to take the title off of Cody. You build it there. However, if they don't, Cody stays with the title, Styles, and then we try to pin something for SummerSlam.
Like what, Gunther?
Well...
Fine, so long as he doesn't keep it, as long as the Intercontinental, that got boring.
Yeah. But Gunther's on a different show.
I don't know.
Gunther is on Raw, whereas this is SmackDown. So... I don't know, you'd have to... I think you try to build up some credibility somewhere else with a different superstar. I could see it being AJ. But, again, we'll see kind of where that goes. But if Gunther does lose at the King of the Ring rematch, that changes our next match come SummerSlam. Take us into our main event.
Our main event is for the World Heavyweight Championship between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. Now, it looks so clear on who lives in what household looking at this sheet because me and Cauldron voted the same in Damian Priest retaining, where you, Pyro, and Desario chose Drew to win it, which I understand. I understand. But to flip that around on them, what more of a slap in the face would it be if CM Punk costed him his match tonight? Like, I think he's going to do, especially since he did all that social media, he would get jumped and, well, the people are different around here and all this other. That's just egging him on. I see CM Punk here tonight to interfere and cost him the match because that would enrage him so much.
And it's funny you mentioned Punk because both Desario and Pyro did as well.
It's because it's quite obvious. Punk's been kind of like Punk running away. So, biding his time to get him mad enough to where he's like, all right, now I want to do this.
So, as we were saying about King of the Ring, if Damian retains tonight, he goes against Gunther. As of right now, set in stone. He goes against Gunther come SummerSlam. Gunther takes the title. Okay, Drew wins tonight. Again, we go against Gunther. Already set in stone SummerSlam via the King of the Ring tournament. Either way, either man steps into SummerSlam, that title's being taken off whoever and it's being given to Gunther. You could have credibility in Drew winning it because then he gets his moment. He gets it in front of his home crowd and then there's no more bitching. You take it to SummerSlam. He loses, and then you set up Survivor Series, Mania next year, Rumble, for him versus Punk.
I don't know.
Because it doesn't need a title.
No, but that's the exact reason why I say it could lose, and that could really blow him over the edge, and then it could be just an untitled match at SummerSlam. SummerSlam.
Going into, obviously, the reasonings of Desario and Pyro, as I did say, they mentioned Punk. So Desario says, I have a feeling they might burn the building down if Drew loses. Punk will interfere, but to cost Damian the title. Sets up SummerSlam. I'm noticing a theme here with setting up things. Also, if WWE doesn't give Drew his Broken Dreams theme for the match, I might go down and burn the arena myself. When Drew
Have fun with that plane ticket.
I would say when Drew McIntyre first arrived in WWE way back when as the Chosen One, he had a theme song called Broken Dreams. They have been teasing it for the longest time that this is going to be a theme song that he brings back for a big moment. This is the big moment. There's nothing bigger than this. Bring it back for this. Because we were teased the last time they were in England doing this, him versus Reigns for the title, they teased him doing it. And they did give us a little bit of it, but then he came out to his normal theme song. And looking at Pyro's reasoning, he did say Drew because they want him to stay. Plus, it makes sense, and he's dethroned by Punk at SummerSlam. Again, if things don't change King of the Ring tournament-wise, both men are kind of wrong with Punk via SummerSlam because that will be Gunther. Mm-hmm. And I know your reasoning, more or less, for choosing Damian is the interference again. Everybody's kind of going with interference in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yup.
I see this being a very interesting show.
It would be interesting.
Just overall, I see the love that Glasgow is going to give their home crowd.
I'm hoping they're even louder today.
I'm hoping. I don't think there's going to be a single group that beats out Leon France so far. But I'm hoping that they give us something, that they're loud enough when it comes to the introductions, that we're not disappointed when it comes to the matches when they're quiet.
Mm-hmm. All right, WWE, you already disappointed us with Battleground. Don't do it to us again.
Oh yeah, please do not. I do want to say before we get off the air that I loved one thing that I saw on social media, and it was Piper Niven talking to Drew McIntyre. It was a really sweet moment between the two because they had just landed in Glasgow. And she had said that, she's not going to name the weights. And this is kind of verbatim of what she had said. She's not going to name the weights, but years and years and years ago, they were told that the bench press weight was 400 pounds and nobody could lift over that. And then it was broken. And then it was broken again, and it was broken 2 other times after that. She had mentioned 4 times, but I said it a little bit more than she did. A total of 4 times over what it originally was. And she said, this is how we felt when it came to a company like this, when it came to wrestling as Scottish superstars. But you showed us that this is possible, and we all thank you for that.
I've seen a couple different clips of Piper and Drew being back home doing the press things together, and there was some great funny moments between them, and some wonderful sweet moments. And
I absolutely loved that, and I had to mention that on here because it shows that for people that aren't born in the right way, like born here in the States, for people that aren't born into the company, like we've seen Charlotte Flair and other names that carry on their fathers and their grandparents' legacies, it can be really hard. But once you as an individual make it and you make it big, that opens the door for so many more. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing to see.
Especially with Drew being the veteran amongst all of them. Yeah. It's really Drew McIntyre leading the charge of Piper Niven and Isla Dawn with them.
Yeah.
They followed behind him. He paved the way in a sense.
For the
just
Scottish
like
born.
Becky did for the Irish ones. Leading up to Lyra now being able to follow in her footsteps. It's beautiful.
We've had Becky on the female side. We've had Finn on the male side. Sheamus. It's so amazing to see people come from all over and be the firstborn of things to pave a way for others and to see how grateful the others are is more or less what I was trying to say off of what Piper Niven had said.
Just like the late Iron Sheik. He was what was he, Iranian or something like that?
I wouldn't be the one to say that. That would be Pyro,
yeah, I'm not going to like put a nationality, but he was like from a different culture, and he of course will have paved the way for others, just like there was people like the Great Khali and so many others.
Yes.
So
it is
beautiful.
amazing to see what first time superstars can do and pave the way for others.
Watching the cultures thrive even in the locker rooms, it's beautiful.
It definitely is. And with that, we end out Clash at the Castle, and we will see our lovely Hex here tomorrow for our recap. Unfortunately, still no word on Brother Pyro on his return, so we will definitely let you guys know when we know. Otherwise, again, you'll know when we know. But that is all for today.